Hey friends, Emily Bowie here. Thanks so much for stopping by for another video. I truly appreciate that. Today I thought I would just do a short video on a little vocal mixing technique that I like to do on pretty much every vocal. It's very simple, but I do believe that it does help and bring out some clarity in vocals, especially when you start to build up a lot of kind of just muddy kind of gunk that sits right there in your throat. When you have someone that sings, and you can kind of, when you're talking, feel a lot of the vibration right there in the middle of your throat. And a lot of that gets built up on a lot of singers. And so this is just something that kind of ducks that out. And really, I've been using this technique on pretty much every vocal track. And if this is your first time stopping by Beyond the Row, if you'd like to help out, you can hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. Now today I've got a session that I've been working on. This is something that was recorded a pretty long time ago, about 6-7 years now. And I thought that this would be something good to kind of go over because I can actually play this one. I own the rights. So let's take a look at this simple little vocal technique that I'm using here with the FabFilter Pro Q3. Now, if you're just starting out in mixing, I think that this is probably the first plugin that I would actually purchase. It's basically a Swiss Army's knife, and you really could mix a whole record with using just this plugin. I wish that it was the one that I bought first instead of going through a whole bunch of $29 sales from certain companies that now make you pay for upgrades. But anyways, it's on the vocal here, and we're all told that we need to roll off some of the low end on vocals, and I do see a lot of times that things get up into the hundreds here, 120, 150, just rolling everything off of that. Well, what I like to do is kind of roll off right around 60 or wherever it feels comfortable, that it's not getting too thin. And so it's usually going to be around 60. And that goes for pretty much any vocal, male, female, leads, backgrounds. Most of the time, backgrounds, just going to leave how it is. And I'll just let you listen to a little bit with it.
I want joy in my heart. I want peace in my mind. I want my love to be true. I want my words to be kind.
Okay, so as you can tell, we've got another, vintage, late 50s, early 60s style song here. And what I want to talk about here is how we are rolling off quite a bit of the low end there. Pretty standard stuff. But instead of pulling that all the way up to here around, 100, 150, like a lot of people do, to really cut out a lot of that mud, I feel like it makes the vocals sound thin and unnatural. I like the throat sound. I like that natural essence. And this is kind of, a pretty mellow song, so we're not really getting up into any high registers there. So I want to keep a lot of that natural sound in. So what I do, instead of rolling all of that off, we'll come back. We've got around 60 hertz here that we're rolling off. And then we'll put a dynamic EQ. This is not cutting any frequencies because this is actually set to 0 dBs. That's how I like to set it. What I'll do is I'll go through and listen, kind of find out right there on the edge of that throat voice, when it becomes too muddy, if you really kind of talk in a low tone, kind of monotone voice, and you put your fingers right there at the middle of your throat, you can feel that's where it vibrates the most. Well, that can build up a lot of times, especially with male singers. Now, with females who have a little bit of a deeper voice like mine, it will also do the same. So, what I like to do, we'll go ahead and listen to it here.
I want joy in my heart. I want peace in my mind.
At the end of the phrases, they start out here, and when they trail off, a lot of that gets built up. So we go in and just do a little adjusting here with the threshold. And I don't want to duck too much. That's why this is a pretty wide cue, because I'm just trying to tame where those phrases dip off and build up. So here it is with it.
I want joy in my heart. I want peace in my mind. I want my love to be true. I want my words to be kind.
Okay, here is without it.
I want joy in my heart. I want peace in my mind. I want my love to be true. I want my words to be kind.
Difference is subtle, but it does make a difference. Now I'll kind of play it with it and bypass it, and we'll go back and forth and compare while it goes through. So we'll start with it.
I want joy in my heart. I want peace in my mind. I want my love to be true. I want my words to be kind.
This is actually clearing it up. It's pushing it forward to where we like to listen to a vocal. I'll do that again. Here's with it.
I want joy in my heart. I want peace in my mind. I want my love to be true. I want my words to be kind.
It really brings it out into the front to where we naturally like to hear the vocal. And when you're trying this technique out, you kind of just have to kind of move the frequency, where it feels the most natural. And like I said, we're not cutting any frequencies here, and we want just enough to push down when those build-up areas come along. We're not trying to do that through the entire song, just when it needs it. And that's why I really love the dynamic feature on the Pro Q3. And this is something that I use on pretty much every vocal. It's the number one thing that's going to go on that chain once the song is in the mix session. And every vocalist is going to be different, so just kind of play around with those settings, but just keep in mind that you don't really need to roll off as high as you think, because it's actually going to make it sound worse and not as full. But anyways, that is just the simple technique that I like to use on probably 90, 95% of the vocals that I do mix is the first thing that's going to go in the chain there once it's in the mix session. And let me know if you try this out, if this is something you do, or if you're going to try it out now after watching this video. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you also like to help out with the channel, please hit the subscribe button and share with anyone who you know that may benefit from this, or if it's something that you want to say that you don't think that it's a very good technique, let me know that too. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, y'all.